Yeah, hi Akshi. How are you?
Yeah, hi Naresh. Good morning. How are you? Thanks for
Yeah,
asking.
I'm good. Thank you. How about you?
Yeah, oh fine.
Yeah, tell me.
Naresh, I have some questions. Like I have recently given couple of interviews, okay?
Okay, okay.
And one is conducted through TCS. It's a random Pan India Drive. Virtually I given.
Okay,
And another discussion I have given some software company. It's cloud based. It's a
okay,
virtual interview. The problem which I'm facing right now is they discuss about the profile, what we have done, and they were asking about relevant experience minimum 3.5 to 4 years in a workday in HCM.
okay.
Okay, and I mentioned in my resume as per you suggested, like at least show some experience on that, so I will receive some calls on that basis. So the major challenges they discuss about what is total experience and your what you're looking and what is your last employment with the Genpact and what is the role and some minor and secondary skill set I have mentioned Workday in Genpact related talent match apart from the Workday HCM, like staffing module and transaction, all the key skills I mentioned. But in a interview discussion, firstly now you know that AI is going on, so they majorly taken the interview through a AI. And in a AI interview, it's like we need to more elaborate and explore the things through AI interviews in a workday. Like they will ask the question, which example, just given the example. There's like one question they will ask uh, related to business process. Okay. They ask is in a
Okay.
business process, you're stubborn in a situation when you facing the bugs and challenges in a project. So what we do, just give the example how
Sorry,
to
your voice is
resolve the
break.
bug.
Sorry, your voice is break. What they
Yeah,
said regarding business
yeah, yeah.
process?
Yeah, business process, the question through a AI, they will ask in business process, if you work any project or face any challenges and bugs and error in a business process project. So how you
Mhm.
rectify, just give the example, just elaborate with the example. This kind of question they will ask. They haven't asked you
Okay,
how
this
to
is the
create a
scenario based
supervisory
question.
organization. Yeah, scenario based question. And we are also very confused, not understand how to explore the things. We give an example in a project, and if you want to rectify the bugs and errors, so how to resolve them. Scenario based question they will ask majorly. And in
Mhm.
TCS, I have given the interview, three people's are discussion about the role. Only the one question they will ask on a relevant basis, just in staffing module they will ask like how to create a position which I just tell them, and in project management and job management what is the major difference on this, that's it.
Mhm.
Otherwise rest of the part completely asked in technically on configuration process integration implementation, and which
Okay.
is very cross questioning confusion. I'm not able to give in the answer properly. I said that yeah, I haven't worked on that project because they were expecting is at least 3.5 to 4 year experience na. So scenario based question, and I'm very just polished on that questions. I'm able to
Mhm.
answer very quickly with the example.
So in that case, we'll do one thing. So did you recorded that questions? I mean, whenever you're attending the interview, did you recorded that session?
No, like I didn't record the questions because I think it's not I think not allow and not access to recording the questions on that.
No, not like that. See, for
So
example, you're giving interview. So when you're interview, at least you can keep your phone while recording that
mhm.
one. So at least we can able to record that questions, right? So then only based on how they ask, so I can able to understand that. Then only I can able to give proper suggestion, right?
Yeah.
That's what
Naresh,
I'm asking.
yeah, actually, na, they will majorly ask scenario-based question you said to
Mhm.
me, same, and technical-based question. But means like they're not asking you how to create a supervisor, not even a one interview.
They
I have
never ask
given 2 to 3
supervisory.
rounds. Yeah, like
So
they never haven't asked
in
what is the steps are
see
include.
supervisory, these are the basic questions. So in very rare cases, they'll ask how can we inactive the supervisor. They never ask how to create the supervisory. See,
Mhm.
that to be why they ask if they felt that okay, these candidates don't know about the workday. So if
Yes.
they felt like that, then they'll ask how can you inactive the supervisor. That's a basic question. So or else they'll go completely like scenario based only. So for example, if you go security group, if we want to give you access, how can we give? We can provide the role based security groups. So how can we, what is the difference between constrained and unconstrained? So where we can able to assign the role base, how can we create the role based security group? So whenever they ask the basic, I mean, question, so if we give you the example, they won't ask scenario based.
And the questions are like Naresh, they would ask, it's very deep, like it's like I'm very confused how to elaborate, and how can I justify in relevant 3.5 to 4 year experience on that. On that basis, I'll
Mhm.
try my level best, just give them, I'm not blank at that moment, but yeah, at
Uh-huh.
least whatever I have a knowledge on implementation or configuration part, I just explore them. But yeah, definitely they are not happy and up to the mark of the answering which I have shared with them.
That's what. So whenever you're going for an interview, like whenever you're giving virtual interview, at least try to record that with your mobile. So if
Okay.
you note that question, so these are the questions they raised. So then only I can able to give proper answers for that.
So, like, if the questions they ask the scenario based, another is they will in the staffing module. And in a staffing module, they said ki if you face any hurdle to hiring and create a position, again, majorly they will ask two example. Just give the example if you stuck, and if you need to fix any bugs, how to recover from them and whom to report, and just give the one example in staffing module. So what we explain in the right way, what are the steps are included.
See, if how can we check that bugs in the sense? So we used to test in sandbox. So first we used to, before going in production directly. So we won't do those things in production. First we used to test in sandbox. If
Okay.
everything is good, then our manager need to approve that. So whatever the client is there, so just my manager will inform them. So once they'll recheck that, if it is good to go, then they'll update that. You can do that in production. Once we get to that update, that same process I'll do in production.
Okay, so I have one question in that point.
Mhm.
Can we just align closely to work with implementation partner also? They can also help out to fix it. The bugs.
Who?
If we face any error on the project in Workday,
Mhm.
implementation partner, I'm asking. Implementation like the like
Implementation partner won't involve in these things. So for example, if you have an issue with when you are working in business process, as a COE candidate, I know all this knowledge when I'm working on that. So if you don't have, see, if I'm facing any issues, I'll take my seniors help. So those are expert in business process. So we have
Mhm.
separate experts is there for business process. We have experts for integrations. So if I facing any issue, those type of things, then I'll take help from my seniors. So they'll help them out, and they'll help in those scenarios. So like that we need to say. So most
Okay,
probably in my organizations, I didn't much involved in business process. Why? Because already they set up all the business process. I didn't involved in my current organization. I didn't involve anything. So if I didn't face anything, then I'll take my seniors help from there. I can able to resolve these issues. Like that we need to say.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
that's why if
and
you take any higher business process, if you just you need to by had one business process, then you can able to explain the business process. In few scenarios, they'll ask that could you please explain any one business process, or else directly they'll say, can you explain any higher business process? So business process is depending on organization wide. So in your organization for hiring purpose, you people will follow different type of structure to hire an employee. In some other organization, they'll follow different type of structure to follow hire an employee. So
okay,
you should say that thing in confident only. So do one
okay,
thing. So whenever you have my number, right? So
yes,
just whenever you give an interview, you can record that session and then you can ping me. So based on that, I know I can able to give the proper answers.
okay. Sure. And another thing is related to benefits and compensation. In benefits part, payroll said, I just
So
clearly said
benefit is
no.
completely different. Benefit is
Yeah.
completely different. Compensation is different. Don't compare that benefit and
Okay.
compensation in same.
Compensation.
Yeah, benefits it's a completely different. In benefits we have different type of things is there. We have pension plans, so we have different type of plans is there. So benefits
Yes,
is
yes.
completely it's not our scope. For benefits we have separate benefits team is there in Workday. For
But
payroll we
but
have
in
separate team.
yeah, yeah, payroll we have a separate. I said that I haven't. Like I don't have a, I'm not involved in the payroll process, but we
Yeah,
have a
see,
separate team
actually,
reviewing.
whenever we going for an interview, so whenever we giving, introduce ourselves, whenever we giving a basic introduction about ourselves, so we need to say
Yeah,
these are the things properly I involved.
I,
So we
yeah,
need to say these modules I involved in these modules. I'm having knowledge. I'm having plus knowledge on these modules only. So if they're crossing that, you can say I'm clearly mentioned that I'm not involved in these modules.
okay.
My scope of
One more
modules is these things only. Like that, we need to say properly. We no need to, worry. We no need to
got
fear
it.
for those things. We need to say in
Yes,
proper.
yes, right. But the problem is that, Naresh, most of the companies, the emails which have been received applying for the workday role, in like in the functional role, they would mention you need like looking the experience, the time tracking management also. They are also, just expecting having experience in the payroll and benefits also. Matlab, it means like we need to be versatile
See,
and each and
if
every
see
module
some
certified,
organization,
it's not possible.
see, actually,
You know.
see some organization they need payroll employees. So in some organization they need time tracking, time management employees. So
Yeah.
some people they are looking for benefits. So if they say that we can't learn each module, right?
Yes, yes,
So that is the reason we
exactly.
need to stick to some modules. We no need to worry about all these modules. If they ask that, no, I'm having knowledge on in these modules only. If they are looking for the time tracking, right? Those who are working on time tracking, they don't know much about this HCM thing because they only know about the time tracking only.
Time tracking part in on a techno functional, I think so.
No, no, time tracking is the functional module only, but it's a separate module. But time tracking is the huge module. So
Okay,
because we need to create multiple plans. For example, if you take India only, in India only we have Cognizant. So in Cognizant only we need to create so statewide separate calendars we need to create. For example, if you take Bangalore, so in Bangalore on November 1st they need to give holiday. It's a public holiday in Bangalore because it's Kannada Rajyotsava, Karnataka Formation Day. So in Telangana same we have Telangana Formation Day separately. So on that day they need to give holiday. So it's a public holiday in the sense even corporate office also need to give holiday. So in the sense
okay,
we need to create different type of calendars. We need to create different type of plans. It's a very huge subject. So those who are giving a call to us, right, for screening the candidate, so those talent acquisition people don't know much about Workday because they know in that company they are the requirements having in this module, just they'll ask all those modules. If you say clearly,
yes,
then they'll check that okay, these modules they're having, okay, this candidate having these knowledges and this candidate having these knowledges. Like that they can able to track the things and then they'll push into that next round. Okay, if this candidate is suitable, without that also we can able to cope up with this candidate. So in that scenarios they'll take the interview.
right, right.
Yeah,
And one more thing,
yeah, 1 minute,
I know
Nivesh,
that.
allow me 1 minute actually. Yeah, Nivesh.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, hi Nresh, good morning.
Yeah, yeah, good morning, Nivesh,
Um,
tell me.
I attended last session and regarding the resume building and all and the
Mhm.
technical one. So I built created my resume as a 3.5 years of experience I put in that in my current organization as a workday functional and techno functional consultant. So I put everything like this uh, time management, business process, some part of reporting and all. So the calls what I am getting right now, I am getting the calls. That
Okay.
is not an issue. But the thing is, all of them are asking about integration and EIB and kind
Mhm.
of technical thing. So
Yes.
I mean, I'm not able to answer even the like the recruiter what the recruiter are asking on the like some of them asking like can you describe the integration, what integration have you done? So
Mhm.
how to, because I have not done any interview. I have got a lot of calls, but I don't think so they have submitted to their managers or hiring manager or someone else. And I have given one interview which was conducted by AI itself. Like someone arranged the interview, and that AI agent taken the interview, and that was
Mhm.
completely technical, and then that was a bouncer to me. So I couldn't even
Okay.
understand the question.
See, integrations are we can say that I did inbound and outbound EIBs. So inbound in the sense if we want to change 100 employees contact information at a time, or else if we want to terminate 500 employees at a time. So we can't go each employee profile and we can't no terminate employee manually, right? It's a business process. It will go a lot of approvals and all. So without business process, so we can make the anything no every step is automate in that EIB. So with the help of EIB we can able to terminate that employee at a time. So for that purpose we'll
Mhm.
use EIBs.
So that integration, I mean, EIB comes under integration, right? We do the
Yes,
integration
yes,
through EIB only.
yes. So that
Okay.
type of integration I involved like that you can say.
Mhm. And would you like to, also add some tips or hint like how to overcome these recruiters? Because I myself is a recruiter. I do US staffing, so I also
Mhm.
grill lot of candidate and grill on a very next level by using Chat GPT and Google and all resource what are the available. So would you like to
Mhm.
add some tips like how to overcome those questions? Like what should be our calculated answers so that they could not even find out like whether I have the real experience or not.
See, for example, if you take integration, so in integration, for example, if you take inbound, so in inbound integration, which type of answer I can able to give in properly. So you can make that as a note. So whenever that question is there, whenever that integration
Mm-hmm.
question will come to you, you need to give this answer only. So in this integration I did EIBs. So in that I know how to do inbound and outbound EIBs. So in inbound how many types of EIBs we can able to do. For example, you need to at least uh, you need to know about 2 to 3 EIBs. Like for example, if you want to change contact information, or else if you want to change compensations, if you want to change salary to the employee, if you want to assign one-time payments to the employee, if you want to terminate the employee, so if you want to do the change jobs, if you want to change their job details. So for all these things we can use EIB. So with the help of EIB, I used to do all these type of things in my organization.
Okay, and
S-
I have these two questions last. First,
Mhm,
someone asked me like along with the core SCM, what other modules have you worked on? So because I've been into the recruiting, so I said recruiting. But
mhm,
what could be the easiest module you think, according to the interview, we should mention in the call and then prepare accordingly? And my the last question would be, how should prepare for the interview? Like when I sit for go through the recordings and other stuff on the YouTube and
mhm,
anywhere,
mhm,
it is
mhm.
like very confusing. Every word is like repeating,
See,
same thing is repeating again and again. But couldn't find out like how to remember those things or how to put into the perspective and explain to any third person.
see, what you need to do in that case, first of all, you need to start practicing by the module wise. First, you need to go supervisory organization module. So, what are the things we can able to do in that supervisory? So, what that is the first thing. So, we can able to create company cost center and these things. Mostly, they won't ask about these things. So, they can able to raise a question regarding the supervisory only. So, in that supervisory, so what are the things we having? So, if you go scenario based only, you can able to think scenario in the sense of
Mm-hmm.
whatever the things we are creating. So those things only we need to explain in proper way. That is the only scenario based question. For example, if you take supervisory, so they won't ask creating the supervisory, they ask how to inactive the supervisory. So it's a process only, how
Mm-hmm.
can we inactive that supervisory. So you need to maintain, you need to remember that steps is okay. If you want to inactive the supervisory, I need to go related actions. In that related actions I need to go reorganization. Under reorganization we have inactive organization option is there. So along with the inactive organization, if we go under reorganization, what are the remaining options are there? So we have create subordinate option is there, assign superior option is there, and divide the organization is there, move worker by the organization and in inactive organization. These 5 options are there under reorganization. So you need to understand under reorganization what are the options is there. Each process for which purpose we are using these options. Then you need to understand the process, right? For example, if they ask that how can you assign a manager to that supervisory, So where we can able to assign that manager. So in supervisory under roles we have assigned roles is that there we can able to give manager role to the employee, so manager role to that supervisory. So it's like a scenario based question only. When you are going for an interview, there only we are giving all the things. So when you are creating the supervisory, we have roles option. Under roles only we can able to give manager role, and which purpose, for which person we want to assign that manager role, we can give that name over there. So then if you come to the subordinate, why we are using these subordinates? What is the use with the subordinate? How can we create the subordinate? So when you are creating something, you need to understand that why we are creating this thing, where we are using thing, where you are using this one, and what is the use with that. If you use that somewhere else, what is the use with that? If you understand these things, you can able to answer for any scenario based question. It's a simple thing only, right? In the same way we are creating the position. So where we are creating the position under supervisory only, creating a position. Why yeah, Aksi, you can ask.
Yeah, Naresh, like just appear for 2 to 3 rounds now. So like in technical basis, like we are just very underconfident that part. They are doing the cross
See.
questioning and just asking the like questioning related to the projects also, because we haven't done any technical side, any project done in any staffing module. So little bit very confident, and the questioning they was like it's like it's another level, like it's a very the question they were asked, we experience like 6 to 7 year of experience kind of like
Mhm.
little
See
bit
that
very
yeah,
difficult
that is
to
the main thing. So
yeah.
once we joined interview, then they say that no, we are looking for we are looking for these module candidate. We are more looking into the technical side.
Yes.
So your
Yeah.
knowledge into this side. So these all
Yeah.
are namesake interviews. We no need to worry about that things. So I faced lot of things. So I give an
And
interview for Capgemini. I give an interview for
yeah.
Sagility. So in last 3 months only, I given multiple interviews. So once I joined, then they're asking that we are looking for core connectors. We are looking for Workday Studio.
Yeah, yeah,
Then
exactly.
I used to
Workday
shout at that
Studio.
interviews. So I don't need to we don't need to worry. I used to shout at the interviews. So without without knowing how can you join for an interview. So I clearly mentioned in my resume. You know about my resume. And I clearly explained what are the modules I know. I clearly explained what are the knowledge I'm having, and how can you asking these type of things. If you are say you are taking the namesake for interview, kindly I know you can disconnect the call. So like that I used to shout at them, because you are new to this thing, right? That is the reason you people can't speak like that. So once you understand the process, then you also you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
able to
I
speak like
understand.
this.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
I clearly said that I'm more involved in a functional consultant role
Mhm.
majorly,
Mm.
and I'm
If
certified
they
on a
ask,
functional
if
side.
yes, if they ask like that, if once we joined, if they ask that new models, if they say that we are looking for in this thing, you clearly say, so this is the my I'm having experience in these modules only.
Right.
So I explained same thing is in screening call. So after that only they schedule the interview. Then once I join the interview, you asking about some other modules. You are asking, I don't know this knowledge on these modules. I didn't involved in these modules. So you are asking these
Uh,
questions. How can I
yes,
give them the answers? Like you can cross question to them.
yes, yes,
Nothing
yes,
will
yes.
happen. Then they'll come to
And
your way. Then they'll ask only these module questions.
but the like most important thing is like when we just go to on a Naukri portal or applying for a job board, everyone asking a functional key. No, these skills are also no, but like someone knows in a functional site like benefits and all. I clearly said that this is not a part of the functional module. But they people are not understanding. They were expecting that we know and we technically we do and
Mhm.
we have some experience on that.
Because
But these are
it's no, yeah, talent acquisition people don't know, right? So what are the modules they're having in Workday? So what
yeah,
is technical, what
exactly.
is functional? So they don't know modules properly. So whenever they call, if they ask about these things, we need to explain them clearly. So these are the functional modules, these are the technical modules. As a techno-functional consultant, I'm having knowledge on these modules. So then they'll
Because
understand that okay, these can while we explaining that also, they'll know that okay, this candidate having proper knowledge. So till whatever the job he did, so then they'll
uh,
consider okay, we can
right.
able to choose this
And
person for an interview like that.
And I clearly said, they were asking like, okay, so you have experience in HCM functional module, so you know that how to implement the things. I'm not a part of the implementation. Implementation configuration is a different thing. Completely
Mhm.
deployment part. The IT person, technical person will do. I'm not a part of this job. Clearly
Yes.
said that, because they are doing the cross questioning and confusing, and even they people also know like which modules KPIs are involved. They were asking about the SOPs, but I honestly said that
Mhm.
yeah, SOP little bit I have a knowledge how to create a SOP, but in a staffing module only, how to create a position, in that way, but not in an
Mhm.
implementation part or another configuration or testing and QA part. This part is completely different, like benefits and payroll. Like, so I've clearly
So
said that, I
see,
haven't any.
do one thing actually. If you're giving interview, so kindly record that things. So then based on that, I can give answers.
Sure, Naresh, next time I will record the session
Sure,
and
sure,
share with
sure,
you.
sure,
So might be
sure.
it will be.
Yes. What, Saurabh? Yeah, tell me, Saurabh.
Hi, Naresh.
Yeah, hi, Saurabh. Tell me.
Naresh, I have a one question, but on the behalf what you mentioned, as you
Hmm.
mentioned before in the call that there is a production environment. Before going to the production environment, we need to test the sandbox, right? Any
Yes,
activity like
yes,
business process, and then we need approval. Then we do the same task on the production, right?
yes, yes, yes.
Okay. But I have a question here, right?
You can ask.
How we move from sandbox to production tenant? Is there any standard process we follow?
See,
Can you
we
explain?
can able to do in two ways. One is, so whatever the things we did, that same thing we can able to do in production
Mm-hmm.
in manually only. So or else, so with the technical help, we can able to move that production. For that, we need to raise a request for technical people. So I did this thing in sandbox. Kindly move into the production. So then they'll do coding with the name of DX is there. Document transfer is there. So that's XML coding will be applicable. So they'll do the coding with the help of that coding. They'll move into that to the production. That's not our
Okay.
job. So if you want to move, we'll raise a request. That's it our job. Once they're done, they'll revert that we updated
Mm-hmm.
these things. Then we can able to go
Mm-hmm.
on. We can check that in production. Okay, if they are updated, then we can close that ticket. That is what we used to
Okay.
follow.
Okay.
So most cases we won't take that thing because whatever the things we are doing in production, so basically we used to get the tickets that should be resolved in 1 or 2 days. That
Mm-hmm.
1 or 2 days it will take time for approvals only. So we can able to create that things in short period only. So in that cases
Mm-hmm.
we used to test in sandbox. If everything is work, then if they mention that we can do in production, same thing we can able to do in production manually only. So in very rare case, whatever the things we are created, it will take a lot of time. So
Mm-hmm.
for that thing, so we can't do again same thing in production. So whatever the changes we made in our sandbox, directly we'll move that sandbox into production.
What I understood, you explained this, wanted to repeat, so there is no confusion. As you mentioned that after testing into the sandbox, because we don't do it manually, we request to the implementation team to move as a documentation transfer because web services or XML as you mentioned use, and they do transfer it to the production environment, and
Production.
it is okay, okay,
Yeah.
production environment, and it automatically impact that work actually we have done in sandbox, right?
Yes, with the help of
Mhm.
coding, HTML coding is there. With the help of HTML coding, they'll move into the production.
So that's not our part. Right?
That's not our part.
So majorly we work as a for example as a support consultant, right? We receive multiple
Yes,
queries, right? Level
yes,
one, level
yes,
two.
yes,
So we do the testing most of the time in sandbox only, right? And request to the
yes,
implementation.
yes. So whatever the thing, if you want to made in production, before that we used to test in sandbox only. Once we did in sandbox, then only we moved into that in production. Directly we won't change in production. Whatever the task is, we won't do in sandbox. We won't do in production. We'll do in sandbox only.
Yes, yes.
Once it is good, then we'll do in production.
My question, one more question, is only related
Yeah,
to the
you can,
business
you can,
process.
you can ask.
For example, that we are writing a business process or modifying the generally we modify the business process majorly most of the time. So how basically, for hire to retire, there are multiple business processes we use, right? So how
Mhm.
basically a business process automatically transfer to one business process to another then another, right? To complete, how to transfer, work in HR operation. What is the way
Mhm.
actually? To automatically, one business process now, okay, now it moves to the another business process, another
The
business process now third business process. What is the actually way to do it?
see hire to hire to retire, in the sense we have different type of things whenever we hire. So for that we have hire business
Correct,
process. After hiring we can give the compensation thing, that is a separate
correct,
business process. If
correct,
you want to change
correct,
their position, that is a business process.
mhm,
These all are business
correct,
process only, right? So they'll ask that
correct,
hire to retire, whatever the business process we're having, did you involve all these things? So we can say yes. So if you want to change compensation, for that we have business process. So if we want to change position, for that we have business process. If we want to change their business title, for that we have business process. If we want to
mhm,
terminate, that is a business. Hire is a business process. If they
mhm,
explain the business process, you can, whatever the steps, you can able to explain that. You say that in my organization we are following this business process only to
mhm.
hire the employee,
Got
because
it, got
in my organization my business process is different. In your organization
it.
your business process is different.
Correct, correct.
So mostly in business process they'll ask about the sub business processes.
Got it.
So, do you have any idea about sub business process? We can say,
Yeah,
for example, proposed compensation hire is the business process. So,
correct.
whenever we are hiring the employee in that business
Mhm,
process, we'll add the sub business process, proposed compensation hire. Why? Because we are hiring, we need to give the salary to the employee, right?
correct,
So,
correct.
that is the reason we added that business process into higher business process. That business process
Yeah.
comes under sub business process. So, like that, we can able to explain about the sub business process.
Mhm. So I just wanted to clear one thing just correctly.
Okay.
Like as per my understanding, I understand the concept of the sub business process, right? As you mentioned, the proposed compensation. But as per my understanding, for example, there is a complete cycle, right? Even if recruiting, I give the example from someone from hiring, to the selection criteria. There is a lot of business process, higher interview process and a lot of things, right? So,
Yes.
for example, if there is a first business process, even including sub business process, so if I want to use the another business process, then one person initiate the another business process, either HR partner or something, right? Correct me? Like that?
No, see, whenever we are adding the steps, so we need to
Mhm.
follow that steps in order only.
Okay. So that's why I know.
So then I don't know. Don't get confused here. If it is business process, we need to follow the steps only. So that steps it divide is each organization will have different type of steps. They are following different type of process. So
Mhm.
we need to blindly fix one thing. Then that for that we need to strongly believe that that process only we are following in my organization. So we need to say that
Okay.
thing only.
That is. So, as per my understanding, that every business process has the sub process to initiate the
Yes,
next business process, right?
yes,
This is
yes,
the answer.
yes. For everything having sub
Right.
business only.
Right.
If they require, they add the sub business. For everything, we don't need to sub business process. If it is required, we'll
Right.
add the sub business.
Right.
So, as example, when we're hiring the employee, proposed compensation is the sub business
Mhm.
process. So, like that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Sanath.
Hello Naresh, how are you?
Yeah, hi, Sanath. How are you? I'm good, Sanath.
I'm I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
I
How are you feeling now?
actually recent. I am doing fine. Actually, that wound turned out to be something else. The septic and happened. So I recently only started searching around
Acha, okay.
7 days. I started searching for the job. So because I couldn't give my 100% fully.
Okay.
Issue was what I'm finding is I overall have 3.5 years of experience, and I have just put like 2 years of my recent experience as Workday. Now I'm one thing is I'm not getting much of calls, even though I'm applying manually. I'm applying also. I'm applying only for 2+ years of experience, only 2 to 5 years of experience. Even though
Okay.
if they're replying, I'm not getting much
So,
call to that also.
mostly,
Even though if
yeah.
they're replying, mhm.
Yeah, you can say, Sanath.
Even though if
As-
they are replying, right? Those even though it is like techno functional, I either one of the modules asking will be completely functional one, like recruiting or payroll or even benefits. Few people will ask, so there will be reporting part EIB will be there. If it is there, I can somehow manage since we have learned. But there will be asking about payroll or something which is core functional, like recruiting.
Yeah. See, if
or
it is
something. So I
payroll,
just need
these
your
things.
suggestion. Do you?
Yeah, if it is payroll directly, we can
Mhm.
say I didn't involved in payroll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think recruiting module, if it is possible for me to learn, that would be good? Because basic I know, that would be good. So I don't know. I just need your suggestion for that. I don't know how the big module is. Will it be feasible for me to understand it and go ahead with it?
Yeah, that's what it's a recruiting, we can't teach. So recruiting, it's a different thing, right? So in recruiting, so as a functional consultant, we can involve to creating the job requisitions. So we can post the job requisitions. So those things only we can involve. So that's thing I already teach
Mhm.
you, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you can say that thing only. In recruitment, as a Workday consultant, I involved to create these job requisitions and to post the job requisition external sites. So I can able to post the close the job requisitions through EAB, post the job requisitions through EAB. So I did
Mhm.
involved in this in those things only, but I didn't involved in recruitment part.
Okay, got it. And yeah, you were also telling about the experience part. Like I said, I have only put 2 years of experience.
So
So I
last
will.
last 2 months I'm also searching for my brother. So he's also having 2.6 years of experience.
Mm,
He's having that
mm,
genuine only. So we
mhm,
are searching for him. For him also calls are getting low.
mm.
So even I'm
Okay.
trying from my even references only. But even they are saying
Mm.
that at least they are looking for 3+ as of now. So most probably we'll get that openings in July. I mean in August. So then they're
Okay.
looking for they'll hire. So as of now they're looking for only for more experienced candidate. That is the reason they are expecting 3+.
Okay. So I will try to then put up even that also as
Sure,
my
sure, you
workday
can check.
experience itself.
Uh-huh.
So I will then share you my resume as well. Please do
Sure,
help me with that if
sure,
there is any
sure,
requirement
sure, sure, sure,
because
sure,
I
sure,
recently started.
sure.
Okay,
Then
Naresh, that's it from my end. In
Yes.
case there is anything else, I'll reach out to you personally. And also the business process, like you said. So what you mean is while we were doing the sessions, we randomly put like few for hiring or termination. We randomly put few steps, right? So we can just fix to that one particular process. If they ask us, we can probably
we
one or
can
two
say
we can
that.
remember and we
Yes,
can just
yes. As
okay.
per organization norms, it will move as per business process. So we need to say like that only. So you need to
Oh,
fix for one thing. We need to say same thing.
oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay. That's it from my end. So I'll just share you
yeah.
my resume after the call. So please do help
Sure,
me
you
with
can
that.
share. You can share. I'll check that and I'll update you. Yeah, Akshi.
Okay, thank.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Naresh, like, through a LinkedIn, like, we haven't received any single call on that. Like, I have applied for the remotely jobs also on a work day, like active jobs also in job
In
posting
LinkedIn,
and
right?
connect,
In
yeah,
LinkedIn, right?
LinkedIn and try to
Uh-huh.
connect to the recruiter also, but they even
See,
haven't
see,
replied or
in
not a call.
LinkedIn,
What is the
yeah,
reason?
in LinkedIn, in only in rare cases we'll get calls. Why? Because see, even I didn't use LinkedIn previously. Once I joined a new organization, so they ask about that these LinkedIn and they ask me to create that LinkedIn profile. So
Okay,
then they understand that. So a lot of connections are going through LinkedIn only. So
hmm,
I know in my organization those who are working now. So those all are whenever they go for a job, so they are referred. If I'm working in this organization, if I want to move, so then they are
okay,
referring this candidate and they are taking that candidate. So like that, a lot of calls are connections are going like that only through LinkedIn. So that is the reason we won't get much calls through interview. I
yes,
mean,
yes,
we
yes,
won't get much
exactly.
things through interview. I mean through LinkedIn.
Even
So that is what
even like
happening in.
Yeah, even like I have received only one or single call. It's quite long, but yeah, the company are based on the US only. But the
Okay.
major problem is that they are pretty much like okay with my profile and everything, but they don't have a like process any to run the payroll from India.
Okay.
So that is the reason they are not considered. Otherwise, the rest of the thing is fine with them. They are okay to hire also. And but
Okay.
the problem is the payroll because in India, they don't have a process and how to run the payroll from the
Yes, in
India.
payroll is
That
a
is the
niche
reason.
technology.
Yes.
So payroll is a niche technology. That is the reason now we don't find
Yeah.
much people from payroll.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why they said ki we are hiring, ready to hire, but in India we don't have anybody who has run the payroll from that. So
Mhm.
that's why they are not able to consider because they have some in tax terms in US, na W2
Yes, yes, yes,
and W2 terms and C2C, cop to cop and all. That's why.
yes.
So another thing is through a Naukri, Naresh.
Yeah.
Naukri, I have received some calls from them, and most of the recruiters like asking the similar kind of questions and hiring for the same company, but receive a call from the different consultant, and the profile has been duplicate. Like if I receive a call
Mhm.
from the entity data, and another consultant after 4 to 5 days they call me from the same role and the same client,
Mhm.
the profile has been duplicacy. So that is
Yes.
another reason we are not getting a call
Yes.
so much.
So that is the thing. So whenever I know they are opening, they'll give for consultancies, right? So
Yes.
they are doing all these things.
Yeah, there is
If you
multiple
hide from
people's
their
call. Yeah.
consultancy, yes, if you hide from there, so at least they'll get some amount, right? So their
Yes.
business is theirs.
Yeah. And I will write some questions in my
You can
mind.
write
It's
those
going
questions,
lot
and I
of
know you can
multiple
share it with
questions
me.
today.
Yeah.
And I will revise some topics on that. And once if I getting any calls from the interview, I wrote down the
Sure, sure,
interview questions also
sure, sure, sure. You
and have
can do
some
that.
doubts on that. I will discuss with you in the next
Basically, whenever
session.
you're going for interview or whenever we are getting the call, so what type of questions they ask, how can we can able to give answer for that? We need to maintain that thing also. Even that is also
Yeah.
main thing. So that's
Yeah.
why
But
you can record that things. So whenever you're
sure.
giving the interview, record that thing and
But
note down that question. So I'll give the answer
yeah.
for that.
Right, right. But through a AI, Naresh, whatever, if you give in any interview for any company through a AI, most of the AI question are scenario based,
Mm-hmm.
right?
They'll
So
set up that questions, right? That is the reason mostly
yes,
scenario based only.
scenario
So,
based only.
yeah.
The question has
So we
been
know
fixed,
it.
right?
Yes, question will be the fix. So no need to worry. So how can we answer for that questions? I can give that things. You can record that. You can share me. So based on that, I can
Sure,
able to give right. So
sure,
maybe the
Naresh,
question is
and
different. Your way of asking will be the different. So I can't
right, right,
understand that thing. So you can
exactly.
record that. So based on that, I can able to give.
Okay. And one more last question is like, should I need to modify my resume as per the JD again and again, or should I mention
No, no,
fix
you need
these
to. So
skills
you
and
need to
skills?
mention that thing only. So we no need to modify those things.
Like,
Yes.
okay, fine, fine.
Yeah.
I'll just reshare with you
Sure,
again,
sure, 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 sure.
and just
Sure.
help me out on that. Should I
Sure.
need to
I'll check
change?
and
And
yeah, I'll check and I'll update those things.
sure, Naresh. Thank you.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, Akash.
Yeah. Hi, Naresh.
Yeah, Akash. Tell me.
So I was saying that I saw a job posting on Naukri that there was a walk-in interview. Okay. So,
Okay.
but that was in Noida. So, it is for tomorrow. They are expecting more than 3 years, so 3.5 years experience minimum. So if I appear in that interview like as a fresher, so will they take my interview or that they will just reject me?
No, they won't take.
They
See,
won't take. Okay.
if I know, for example, if you go for an interview and they'll check that they are looking for experienced candidate. Clearly, they mentioned they need experience only.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So if you don't
they
have
meant.
experience on the spot only, they'll say that okay, we are looking for experienced candidate only. You can leave off now. So it's a simply waste
Uh-huh.
our time.
Oh,
So if you
okay. So
mention that
okay.
experience, then you'll go for a direct walk-in. If you add
Okay,
experience in
but
your resume, you can go directly.
okay, fine. Okay, I'll
Yeah,
add just the experience and then I'll
sure.
appear. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, team. That's it. If you have any things, again, you can able to contact Akanksha. So based on that, again, she can able to assign on doubt
Uh,
session. So
Sorry, Naresh, I sorry to interrupt you. One last
yeah,
question in my mind, it's that
you can ask.
after the Gen Pact, I was relieved in January 2025 and okay,
Mhm.
30th. So they were asking why, like, what is the reason you didn't get any opportunity and that. I said, ki, why you left the Gen Pact? Clearly said that the project has been over, the
Okay.
Workday project we have. So could you please suggest me how can I
See,
justify?
directly, see, no need to, give proper answer like formal things. We need to say proper answer that saying that. See, everyone are looking for 4 years, 5 years experience.
Right, right.
If they ask, you
Exactly.
can say directly only. So they are everyone expecting that 4 years, 5 years experience. So if you give chance, then only you can able to understand that how much knowledge I'm having. So we need to say like
Okay.
that only. Then our answer should be in genuine.
Mm,
So if you are adding some some fake, even though it should reflect like okay, he's giving genuine answers.
mm,
So like that they
right.
need to feel. So like that we need to answer.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But the project which I have supported in Genpact previously, na, this project name is in R2R, record to report is decoupling project, and it has been
Okay.
the project has been supported, which has it's globally for the Poland.
Okay.
So I said that some relevant experience I have mentioned ki I have supporting the staffing module in a Workday also because Genpact also the process
Then for
going on
also
the
using
Workday.
Workday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I said that ki like the project which has been support previously, it has been ramped, it has been over. So
Mhm.
that's why
You
I
can say
just
that.
left the Genpact.
That's why I love the thing. And
Yeah,
outside, everyone are looking, and everyone are hiring for experienced candidate. They are expecting more
right.
experience. Like,
More
if they are
experience. Okay.
experiencing, they are looking for 5 years, 6 year experience. So, that is
Right,
the
right.
reason I didn't get much calls. That is the reason still I'm looking for these things. You need to say
Okay.
directly.
Yeah. Okay, Naresh. And
Okay.
just suggest me if you find anything else,
Sure,
just
sure, sure.
let
Definitely, I'll
me know that.
suggest.
Sure. Thank you
Okay.
so much for
Yeah.
that.
Okay, team. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you all. Thanks, Naresh.